Welcome back. This is Pinkpeep continuing my Let's Play of Xenonauts. I believe we left off. We had just destroyed and recovered our third or so crashed alien UFO. And if I remember correctly, they do not like to keep that up for much longer. We'll probably start seeing the bigger ones. And we just finished the autopsy on the Caisson. Caisson is a humanoid alien that stands approximately 170 centimeters, 5 feet 6 inches tall. I imagine you share our surprise that they resemble humanity so closely. Statistically, we believe the likelihood of this occurring by chance is effectively zero. Caissons are physically weaker and less hardy than humans, with bone fractures occurring at only 60% of the force required to fracture human bone. Both are likely to be the result of prolonged exposure to a low-gravity environment. Their physiology is intriguingly similar to our own, with most internal organs present in a recognizable form and a remarkably similar skeletal structure. A couple of exceptions are worth noting. A substantially enlarged cranium contains a corresponding increase in brain tissue, and vocal cords are atrophied to the point where verbal communication would be impossible. The latter suggests the creatures have transcended words. Perhaps they have a telepathic link with one another. The body shows extensive signs of genetic modification at the cellular level. Caisson tissue possesses only a single sex chromosome, and, more importantly, samples taken from multiple enemy combatants shows they are genetically identical. That is, they are all clones. Genitalia are present but heavily atrophied. Asexual reproduction is obviously at work, but almost certainly facilitated by some form of technology. A metal valve on the upper spine is linked to the creature's circulatory system, which may indicate an artificial method of blood filtration that replaces excretion. An undersized liver and kidney suggest it is certainly possible. Indeed, if administered regularly, this blood filtration could also remove the need for consumption and digestion of foodstuffs entirely. Nutrients could be fed directly into the blood serum. Has extraterrestrial technology surpassed their biology? Frankly, this corpse poses more questions than it answers. A little bit of insight into what the aliens have going there. And that allows us to research alien biology, which I think leads to probably my favorite innovation in the game, which is the stun weapons. And we finished the radar array in the laboratory and the medical center. I think that means we need to get some more scientists in here. Can never have too many scientists. Don't know what it was that we ordered. Oh, the engineers, that's what it was. Speed up our interceptor a little bit. And now, as you can see, they only have the 2 missiles, so once they finish with their missiles, they're completely helpless, whereas the Condors have the autocannon, but they can equip the heavy missiles. But it's harder to hit the light targets with the heavy missiles. You have to do some strategic maneuvering to actually manage that, but sometimes I feel that's the best option because they can at least catch the smaller targets. Whereas the Condors have a hard time with even that. And that should be our scientists. Alien alloys. Alien technology is founded on a variety of exotic materials, every one of which possesses remarkable properties. We have identified materials with tensile strength and heat resistance an order of magnitude greater than anything previously known, as well as those with more exotic properties such as room temperature superconductivity. Almost all of them are ultra-advanced ceramics with a chemical structure as alien as the extraterrestrials themselves, though we have yet to encounter any unknown fundamental element in these materials. We have little idea how they generate their extraordinary powers or how they could be manufactured. It is the difference between coal and diamond, fundamentally the same stuff but radically different in practice. Given their exceptional heat resistance, the most obvious military application of these alloys would be in personal battlefield armor. Unfortunately, they are so effective at dissipating heat that nothing in our laboratory can generate enough to melt them, making fabrication of a plate of armor or anything else a little more than a pipe dream. Though still effectively useless, we are harvesting these alloys from recovered artifacts where possible. The aliens must have the means to shape these materials, so further study of their technology may allow us to do the same. So they're so advanced we don't even know how to cut their materials. Now this allows us to either go for the armor or the stun weapons. I think I'll still have to choose the armor. And our second aircraft is done, and that's all we can afford right now, but that's a pretty decent start. We should be able to take down most UFOs that we see in this month at least. And we get a small one. The one problem is it's hard to tell the smallest of the UFOs from the second smallest, which one, the Foxtrots are very good at killing, and the other one not so much. Alright, it is the Light Scout, and these guys are very good at dodging the heavy torpedoes. But if you maneuver right, you can usually hit them with it. Gotta get him to come around, whichever one he is not going after. Comes at him from the side. And hit him. It all takes is one torpedo, which is always nice, so if there's more out there, you can send them at other targets, hopefully killing multiple ones. And I don't think we have to reset anything up. I think everybody's okay. Alrighty, I think we'll just send our Charlie out there. Alright, this one's only minor damage, so we should probably have 4 or so aliens out here. Would be nice to get one completely intact, but they have not been so nice as to oblige us with that. Sometimes they do land and you can just send a Charlie out to land right next to it. Ooh. As you can see, some of the maps where there's a little more cover be a little dangerous. Hiding out to the side there. I think I'll just take the smallest shot and then run behind the wall. Try not to leave your soldiers out there when you just have a chance to kill the person, because there's always a chance that you might not kill the person, and then they'll be left stranded, and that's usually bad. Sometimes the reaction fire is a little silly. I would never take a shot from that range with a pistol, but okay. You can turn the reaction fire off, but sometimes that's a little bit of a hassle too. So he should probably die from this, or get suppressed. Well, apparently he's going to survive this turn. Let's see, we would have to save 42 time units to get off a smoke grenade. Might can do this. Just throw a smoke grenade right on top of him. And all of our soldiers should be safe. He's suppressed, so he doesn't have time to run out of it and then shoot at us, so it's unlikely he would hit anything shooting through the cloud of smoke. he may very well be the only one left outside. Well, I stand corrected. He actually did hit somebody standing outside of the smoke. And he is in trouble. He's actually one turn away from dying. Fortunately, he happens to be right next to one of the only people that I actually have a medkit on. And all you do is equip the medkit and fire it just like you're firing a gun. Then if you right click on it, you can actually heal more. Okay, and he is fully healed, and I think he's going to go back on the ship. He's probably not in too good shape right now. And he's suppressed again. I guess we'll close in with our riot shield. Get behind him. Everyone else will make their way over to start breaching the craft. Yeah, that's the thing about insane difficulty is even the one alien can turn bad. We almost lost one of our veteran soldiers, and keeping people leveled up is very important in this game because they leveled up soldiers far more effective than a rookie one. He actually almost hit a second one there. That would have been a little annoying. And there we go. Let's get everybody else over to the craft. I think we actually got really lucky and that person survived at all. Normally when they get hit by a rifle, not wearing any armor, it's usually instant death. I guess the RNG there barely saved his life anyways. He was one turn away from dying. And despite our bad luck earlier, I'm guessing this is going to be just more lesser armored civilians on here. Flashbang. And some shotgun. Alrighty. See, this person was wounded for 12 days. If we didn't have the medical center built, it'd probably be more like 20 or so, and that's a long time to have a guy out of action. Everything excellent again. 30,000 bucks, not too bad. I think we may just start airstriking the light scouts. We're not getting a whole lot of money for them, and I would much rather have a soldier not die than to get an extra 10,000 bucks out of it, because that is definitely not worth losing a veteran soldier for. So had things turned out a little differently, that would have been a very bad mission. And sorry, alien plasma pistol research. The plasma pistol is an alien sidearm that is approximately 8 inches long and roughly a kilogram in weight. Though it bears some resemblance to a human firearm, it does not fire a bullet, but rather a searing bolt of superheated plasma. It is a powerful weapon, easily capable of killing an unarmored man in a single shot. However, our tests suggest the compact size of the weapon renders it fairly inefficient. The plasma bolt loses cohesion and starts to dissipate almost immediately. It is thus most dangerous at short ranges, where a single shot has a good chance of killing one of our soldiers outright. As that range increases, the projectile steadily becomes less accurate and damaging. The lesson here should be clear. Fight units equipped with this weapon from as far away as possible. Though it would make a fine addition to our arsenal, this weapon clearly has been designed for alien troops. Anatomical differences between our species make it difficult for a human to wield effectively, so any soldier attempting to use this weapon on the battlefield will suffer severe accuracy penalties when doing so. Sadly, we are also nowhere near understanding or replicating the technology contained within the weapon. Recovering more advanced alien weapons may help in that regard. All is not lost, however. Running more tests on this weapon should allow us to develop battlefield infantry armor better suited to protecting our men from extraterrestrial energy weapons. And that is what we were looking for. And another small alien ship. We'll send out our foxtrots. And as you can see throughout the game, they'll pop up with little alien sightings outside of your radar detection range and tell you like communication disrupted and crop circles, and you can actually send out ships to patrol in that area. And I've only really gotten lucky doing that once or twice, but it can help, but it'll usually leave your ships out of fuel, so if aliens do pop up, you might not be able to hit them. And we get another light scout. We'll do the same split up and hit it from the side tactic that we did before. You definitely don't want to shoot both missiles at once, because if he dodges one, he'll most likely dodge the other one, and you want to have a second chance at it. And that was pretty easy, and we'll just airstrike that one. And local forces destroy crashed UFO by airstrike and began operations to recover wreckage. Xenonaut operatives received 20,000 bucks in gratitude for alien technology procured. So you still get the relations boost and a little bit of money out of that, and it takes some of the time consumption and the risk out of it. Apparently they're just going haywire in South America over here. As you can see, we're planning on losing $80,000 from South America next month. That kind of hurts. We lose a lot of funding over here because we don't have any bases. We're not patrolling, we're not killing anything over there. And the Jackal Combat Armor. The Jackal Combat Armor offers our soldiers extra battlefield protection at the cost of increased weight. It is not the ideal equipment for every situation, but in many cases the extra survivability could be the difference between life and death. Laboratory tests on captured alien plasma weapons have confirmed that traditional body armor is essentially worthless against energy projectiles, having been designed to resist ballistic impact rather than heat damage. However, testing a modified combat vest with heat-resistant rather than impact-resistant ceramic plates showed impressive results. The ceramics were able to dissipate enough of the heat to give the wearer a reasonable chance of survival, though they are still likely to suffer injuries in the process. While it provides an obvious boost to survivability, this armor is heavy and will limit the other equipment, such as ammunition or secondary weapons, a soldier can carry into battle. Armor also degrades rapidly under fire and will not withstand repeated hits, nor provide the wearer guaranteed protection. E.g., it hardly matters what armor a soldier is wearing if he is shot in the face. Nevertheless, it is still better than nothing and can be constructed in the workshop. And we will definitely begin doing that. I think we'll be going for alien biology. And definitely making some armor. Now they do have heavy armor and lighter armor. And I generally only put the heavy armor on our assault troops unless there are occasions where it's nice to have armor on your other troops as well. But it just limits weight too much. You'd have all 8 of your people running around carrying nothing but their main weapons for the most part. And it's very, very harsh to not being able to carry anything else into battle. And you'll see when we equip the armor that the weight capacity goes way down. And the alien biology. Tissue analysis on the remains of different extraterrestrial species has allowed us to compare them with one another in an attempt to find characteristics common to them all. Though we have no definite answers, there are hints as to the origins of the aliens. There are strong similarities in the physiology of all biological alien units encountered so far. For example, all are humanoid. All also possess both a circulatory system and a central nervous system, albeit with some variation in function. This allows for the possibility of a common planetary origin. The huge variety of life on our own planet clearly illustrates that an array of vastly different creatures can evolve simultaneously on a single planet. This was our initial assumption, largely due to the shared habitat inside the alien UFOs, an atmosphere containing perhaps 5 to 6% oxygen rather than the 21% of ours. The aliens respire via oxygen in much the same manner as humans do, using a common vector to distribute it around the body, a semi-synthetic protein that mimics the role of human hemoglobin, but much more effectively and giving alien blood a distinctive purple tint. However, the fundamental organic chemistry is so dramatically different between alien species that a common origin cannot be possible. The reason these species can share a common habitat is not evolution, but rather extensive genetic engineering. This oxygen-carrying protein bears no resemblance to any other part of any of the corpses we studied. In other words, it appears an external force has engineered these creatures to be capable of breathing the same air that they do. The identity of this external force and the reasoning behind this decision remain obscure, at least for now. In the meantime, we are turning this research to practical use. My team have constructed holding tanks in the laboratories which can be used to confine captured alien units in a low oxygen environment. If exposed to our atmosphere for long enough, alien units will eventually succumb to oxygen toxicity, allowing us to study them more closely. And this will unlock stun weapons, which we will definitely be wanting. So the aliens have been a little calm around our region. Oh, and we get the jackal armor produced. And all of our assault troops will be putting that on. And just look at how much less weight they can carry now. They're now extremely overweight. Even getting rid of all the grenades is not enough. So we'd really need to give up the shotgun to be weight efficient. But until we have stun weapons, I'm not at all comfortable doing that. So for now, they'll just be giving up their grenades and working at a time unit penalty, which is harsh, but I'd rather have the firepower of the shotgun with the armor of the armor. This guy might actually be able to carry both. Yep. This guy's nice and strong. Stun weapons. Studying extraterrestrial biology has allowed our scientists to devise methods of incapacitating our enemies for interrogation and further study. There appears to be 3 main possible avenues of attack, all of which are equally effective against humans as they are against aliens. The first is simple concussive force applied to the victim's brain or nervous system, either via physical contact or the shockwave from an explosion. This method is both crude and unreliable, particularly against tougher alien species such as civilians, but you may find it occurs unexpectedly on the battlefield. The second is oxygen starvation, where higher brain functions shut down due to lack of oxygen. This can happen incidentally via smoke inhalation or can be induced via a stun gas that temporarily binds with the alien victim's blood and prevents it from carrying oxygen around the body, generating a powerful disabling effect without ultimately being fatal if sufficient amounts are inhaled. The final method of incapacitation is an electrical current delivered at a sufficiently high voltage, which will utterly disrupt the nervous system of the victim and render them unconscious. This is extremely effective but highly dangerous, and electrical discharge of the required voltage can only be delivered with a melee weapon. My team have therefore designed a shock baton that can be used to subdue enemies at close range and grenades/rockets that can be used to deliver stun gas from a distance. Whatever method you choose to employ, any captive alien would be an extremely valuable research subject. And now we will go for the weapons. And this is why I like the stun weapons so much, because we don't even have to make new weapons. Just replace the semi-useless pistol with the stun baton. It will lower their weight substantially, because apparently the baton weighs less than the pistol. And the baton is actually a pretty effective weapon. There we go. Here's another UFO. Oh, 2 more. And another light scout. That's another easy 20,000 bucks. And we will redirect our Foxtrots to the other UFO out here, because our Condors probably won't even be able to catch them. And now finally one of the bigger UFOs. This is the Scout. Fortunately, this will be extremely easy with our Foxtrots, because he can't even roll out of the way of torpedoes. And it might take 2 to kill him, but I know for a fact 3 will. And he's gone. And I think that will do it for this episode. I think we'll start invading that ship on the next one. It should be a pretty decent fight. They carry quite a few more aliens. And I thank you for watching. Hope you come back to witness my continuing journey towards terrible, inevitable destruction in the world that is Insane Difficulty Xenonauts, even though I guess it hasn't appeared like it so far. I promise you it does get much, much harder. And thanks again.